So as I mentioned during the preparation for the trip to Red Rock, I'm actually replacing it. She's getting a substantial upgrade. And well, the day is finally here. The day when I can take the stock windscreen off of a Suzuki V-Strom 650 and replace it with a big bad monster that's awesome for freeway cruising. The shape and size are much bigger than what I expected, but I have a lot of high hopes for what this will actually do on the highway. I am getting sick and tired of feeling like a bobblehead on the freeway. So, first things first, you need a hex key. In particular, a 3mm hex key, or Allen key, or Allen wrench, or whatever you want to call it. And just take those screws out. These are already quite loose. So you just get those screws loose. She eventually pops right out. There's some rubber grommets that hold in place. And there they go. Save the screws and the washers inside for posterity. So that's our stock windscreen. They're nice, pretty strong. Not bad, but small. So we'll put that over there. She looks really, really weird without her windscreen, doesn't she? Now, let me take the opportunity to clean under here where we couldn't reach before. Wipe her little nosy off. Some of that road dust out of here. So these sets of holes, 1, 2, and 3, are the different heights that they give you for the stock mount on the windscreen. Which, I mean, honestly, really isn't enough. Especially if you're a tall rider. So now it's time to break open the hardware, see what that's about. They take these up, but good. Shuck this puppy like an ear of corn. Yay, instructions, we'll want those. So these are the magic bits, the brackets that will allow the windshield to adjust, and all of the mounting hardware for said brackets. These are going to be really cool. Alright, so the manual recommends that you use the top or the bottom for all sets, but not the middles. They say the middles don't mount quite the same. So in this case, I'm going to keep these well nuts in the top section where they were originally. And then the brackets, these little guys, better get down here so you can see it. These are the brackets. Okay, so this is the adjustment knob for the windscreen. These go inside near the top of the windscreen, and these are your mounting holes. Get these little ears in here. That's your top and bottom mounting hole. So they're going to go just like that, and they provide the hardware so that you can mount that in there too. And there's a trick, because this little guy, when you go to put it on, it's going to be inside, but you'll notice there's a hole here. You'll notice there's a hole here. So if you loosen that up, these slide so that you can get a screwdriver into this hole like so. See? Just like that. Now this kit only came with one set of washers. I'm going to use them on the tops because the whole thing is hanging from that, so I'd imagine that's going to be the more weight bearing section. So as I said, I'm going to start with the top. The screw doesn't just drop right in, so you can see how I'm reaching through the bracket like that. Put that into the well nut. By the way, Madstad, I love that these are Phillips and not hex keys. Oh, and I just lost a screw. Hex nuts are a pain in the butt. Straight up. See how I'm able to move that up and down? I can get to that screw. And it does. It fastens right in there quite nicely. And I don't feel weird about tightening them down. You just firm it up and you're good to go. Alright. There's that one. And just remember that knob goes to the top and inside facing you so that you can adjust them. So washer on bolt. Now the hole for the bolt doesn't, like I said, it doesn't allow it to just fly through, but that's fine. You know, I consider it one of those little touches. It won't be so easy to lose your hardware. If you can get it threaded through a little bit, you're free to reach for the next piece of hardware without worrying about the screw and the washer coming flying out at you. I don't know if it's intentional, but if it was, good job. Oh snap. I just lost the well nut. So, If you push one of the well nuts down into the well, do not panic. It can fall through underneath. You do not need to take apart the front end. Alright, so words to the wise. Do not put pressure on these well nuts as you're screwing them in. The screws will grab, and there's a rubber collar in there that as you tighten the screw, pancakes out and creates that pinching effect, kind of like a drywall clamp. So you don't have to put pressure, just keep turning. The screw will turn in and eventually catch. If you somehow do manage to push a well nut in, do not do what I did and immediately panic and assume you have to disassemble the front end. You do not. It will come through. It will. You can shake things around a little bit, it'll come down, probably hit the fender, and then go bouncing off towards the rear of the bike. So, no pressure, just turning. The screw will take itself in. And you don't need to reef that puppy on there either. Just snug it up. It is rubber, so just being snug will be enough to keep it nice and tight. That's it. The brackets, they are on. And now we open up this little packet, a separate packet. They're just little screws, and they get these little T-handles on them. Makes for easy attachment of... Dun, 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 this big puppy. Stick one in, down just a bit. Don't have to go nuts just yet. Just get them in there enough to hang in. That is a big honking screen. Certainly bigger than I thought it would be. But man, if that doesn't protect anything, I don't know what will. Same deal, just go for firmly snug. Don't go for reefing it tight. It's not necessary. Every so often just lean in front before you get on, just check, make sure they don't need any more tightening. So now, when you loosen these nuts, the whole windscreen can raise and lower and tilt. That is pretty badass. It's pretty big ass is what it is. I don't know how I'm supposed to see over the shield. All I can see is what's behind it. That might be a little bit too big. Maybe not. I guess we'll see what that does. So, that's an interesting look for her. It's like a big hat. But that's all there is to it really for mounting those brackets. Just those bolts. So you just fasten down to those mounts and then screw down the windshield to the bracket. Twice as many bolts as the stock, but who cares? Because in exchange, you get adjustability. And a really interesting look. Hopefully I don't need a smaller one. That's pretty damn big.
So I turned into the wind, mostly a headwind. Definitely a lot quieter. See if it makes a difference on the freeway. It's a bit distracting with the shield shaking in the wind though. Dude, one blink doesn't constitute use of a blinker for lane change. Still an improper lane change. It's a citable offense, is it not, Mr. Cop? Then again, so is using a trailer without a plate. Oh snap. You gonna do something about him, or are you just gonna let it fly? I guess we'll never know. What are you doing? 60 miles an hour, and I don't feel anything. That's awesome. What the hell is this about? Moron? Whoa, look at that. Towing him sideways? Pretty sure that's not right. Wow. This big screen does change the handling of the bike. Little, gusts and such do have an effect on it, which I would expect, having the next best thing to a sail on the front of it. But it's something you can get used to, and the wind is pretty gusty out here right now. Not the best test for average riding, but at the same time, it's kind of impressive because my head would be getting knocked around all over the place without this. I'm just not sure about having that line, the top edge of the windscreen right there, almost at eye level, just below it. Man, the cops are all over right now. Is it quota day? Oh, I thought I heard a bike. I thought it was this little crappy Scion in front of me. But nope. Hey, what are you doing? Swing wide, then inside. Swing wide, then slow. GoPro on that dude. Wonder who that is. It's really easy to start speeding like mad with this now because I'm used to a different equation. Noise equals speed. But now this that equation no longer holds true. I have to get back used to hearing the engine noise to help determine that, or just, you know, look at the speedo. It's not as intuitive as it used to be.